Good morning students. Today I am going to explain about biological factor. The last video I have explained you topographic factor and edaphic factor and other ecological factor, that is climatic factor we have seen. Today I am in the last part of the ecological factor. Let's see the biological factor. Biotic factor or the biological factor. This biotic factor means this is actually an interaction between two living organisms. It may be a plants to plants or the plants to animals. Okay. So in between the interaction between the two living organisms which is live in the environment and they are living in the group. They are existing in the form of communication. Okay, they are a community. They'll be in the group. Okay, so they are existing in the group, they are living as group and it is influence on another. And also if you're taking the plants to animal interaction, the animal will give the direct effect or the indirect effect on the plants in one or several ways, right? So let us move on to the biological factors. So this biological factor actually two types is there. Okay, this biological factor actually two types is there. We can study by classified into two types. One is positive interaction, negative interaction. Positive interaction means that is both the, I told you here, interaction of two different organisms. Okay, so these two different organisms get benefited. Two different organisms get benefited is called two different one or both get benefited. Get one or both is get benefited through this interaction is called the positive interaction. Okay, through this called the positive interaction. Okay, so one or both, அதாவது ரெண்டு இருக்கு அப்படின்னா ஒன்னோ இல்ல ரெண்டுமே, both are get benefited by this one or both it's getting benefited is called the positive interaction. Under which positive interaction you will be having a two types like this, that is mutualism and commensalism. Mutualism is also called symbiotic. What is that? It is also called a symbiotic relationship. Example, you would have studied in your lower classes, that is in your 7th, 11th standard, you have studied that there is the interaction between the mutual relationship. Both share their requirements. Example, leguminous plant will give the food nutrient to the fungi. And fungi is a microorganism and leguminous plant is a type of plant. So this leguminous plant will give the nutrients to the fungi. Fungi will in turn, it is getting the nutrient from the plant, leguminous plant. In turn, it helps to the leguminous plant by giving the atmospheric nitrogen to the root of leguminous plant. By getting of the nitrogen from the fungi, the plant will be nicely growing. And getting the food from the leguminous plants to the fungi also well growing. So both share their relationship is called the mutualism under the positive interaction, because here both are benefited. That is called mutualism. Example, you will see the better example is, that is the root nodule of the leguminous plant of root nodules along with the fungi. Okay, and one more example, that is azolla. Azolla is a water fen. It's a pteridophytes type of plant. Which plant is present in the mostly in the water. Okay, so the water aquatic fen. Okay, that is example, I will say azolla. Azolla is aquatic fen, aquatic pteridophytic plant. That plant root also consisting of cyanobacteria. Just now we saw, I told you the fungi along with the plants, leguminous plant. Likewise here one cyanobacteria, that is the half character will be algae, half character will be bacteria, so that is called cyanobacteria. Example, that is anabina. Anabina is present in the root of the azolla. Azolla is a pteridophytes which is living in the water. Another example of this is, again, anabina is present in the coralloid root of the cycas or the gymnosperm. Gymnosperm is a naked seeded plant. In that seeded of plant is example cycas coniferus. In the cycas is a type of gymnosperm plant. In that coralloid root is symbiotic with the cyanobacteria, that is called Anabina again. Next, the next cyanobacteria, that is called Nasdaq, which is present in the thalite body of the bryophytes, is called Anthocerus. Anthocerus is a type of bryophytes plant. In that plant, thalite body is consisting of their Nasdaq for their symbiotic relationship. Both share their relationship. Okay, so these are all the main important symbiotic relationship, and in your textbook you will be having these kind of examples, I want to say. And along with this, you have studied in the last year lichens, that is the fungi, algae both share their relationship and living as the lichens. Likewise, the terrestrial plant, that is normal, our land living plant root get connected or the symbiotic with the fungi is called mycorrhiza. So lichens and mycorrhiza and correlate root of the cycas or the gymnosperm with the Anabina, and Anabina again with the azolo of pteridophytes, and Anthocerus of the bryophytes is get incorporated with the help with the Nasdaq. These are all the positive interaction mutualism examples I told you. Next, I am coming to the commensalism. What is called commensalism? Commensalism is nothing but, I told you, here the both or here the get one or both is benefited. So here symbiotic, both two organisms are benefited so that it is very mutual in their concern. So it is also called mutualism or the symbiotism. Likewise, commensalism means here one is get benefited, that is one organism is get benefited, but another one is neither benefited nor harmed. So it is not getting harm, it is not getting benefit. So one is getting a benefit. So that is called commensalism. So one is get benefited, another one is neither it's benefited nor it is a harmed. That is the definition of the commensalism. You should know about that. Okay. So in the commensalism, if you are taking the commensalism example, I will say like epiphytes you can take that in the last year you have studied as a velamen root is a 2-mark question. The velamen root is nothing but it is a spongy type of root. It's spongy in nature. Okay, it's just growing on the bark of the tree, but it does not depend food for their host as you saw in the mutualism. It just need a support for their growth, so that it is using a bark of the tree like oak tree and pine tree. Okay, in that tree bark is consisting, so giving the support to the plants. So it is giving it producing the velamen root or the spongy root or the clinging root, it is also called. Why it is called clinging root? It's very soft in nature, and also it have the tendency to take up the air and moisture from the environment or the atmosphere. It does not depend on the food for the host, it just need a support for their growth. So that is epiphytes or the velamen root or the clinging root. That is given by this velamen root that you have seen in the last year. This is one of the example of this thing. Okay, if you are taking a Spanish mosses, Spanish mosses means it's type of pteridophytes only. In this Spanish mosses there is in the Tilzandia. Okay, Tilzandia is a type of plant that is type of velamen root which is growing on epiphytes, means it's plant which is growing on some other plant without causing any effect to the host plant. Okay, so that is an example which is growing on the Tilzandia is growing on the pine tree or the oak tree of the bark, is one of the best example of the commensalism, and velamen root or the clinging root is also best example for this commensalism, I want to say. Next, this velamen root is also called orchids. It's just air plant which is growing on the bark of the tree without causing any problem or the dependency on the host. It just needs support for their growth. That's why it does not need food from the host. Okay, that's about velamen or the orchids. So orchids and lianas and hanging mosses, peperomia. So these kind of peperomia, all these peperomia, all these kinds, and money plant. It does not, it just needs support is enough for the money plant that you have seen in the many houses, keeping for the ornamental plants. Okay, and mosses and lichens, lianas, all those things are example of commensalism. That's all about your commensalism. Next, I am coming to the predator. It's a negative interaction. What is called negative interaction? And here one or both get benefited in the positive interaction. Example, mutualism and commensalism. Negative interaction is nothing but it's a predator, parasitism and commensalism. Predator, that meaning is here one get benefited, one organism get benefited, another one is harmed. Both is same. So predator and parasitism is having a same definition, but the concept is different. Okay, so that it is mentioned as a two different types. So one get benefited, another get harmed. How it is getting benefited, how it is getting harmed, we will see one by one. So predator meaning as predation. It's predation. Example, I can say that is one organism. This predator organism is, suppose you take is a pitcher plant. You have seen in the last video, that is pitcher plant, you may see, right? This is pitcher and the leaf, and this is the soft trendle. Okay, and it is continuous as a leaf. Okay. 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 So this is just pitcher plant and its lid. Okay. So this pitcher plant consisting of digestive juice, which is very digestive juice, right? Digestive juice, which is very digestive juice, which is actually high in the viscosity, which is the high viscosity. High viscosity. So the plant, insect is coming here and there, and this is the pitcher. It's like pitcher forming, the young tendril forming the pitcher like formation. Pitcher, it's like a container, it consisting of juice. If any insect is falling down in that, definitely it get digested by this juices, which consisting of many enzymes. From these insect is digested, from that insect it is taking a nitrogen as a sole source for their food. Okay, so these kind of plants is called insectivorous plants. Okay, so this is just a lid of the lid of the pitcher plant. Its name is Nepenthes, that you know, right? Nepenthes plant, or it's also called a pitcher plant because it's producing a pitcher like a structure in the young tendril. This is just a leaf only, it is a young tendril only. Okay, so it's a predator. I told, if any flies is coming, insects is coming and it's watching, it may think it's something like a honey or the sugar substances, it may think like that. So definitely it is try to eat that, so it is definitely fall down into the juice. The juice is already in the high viscosity, I told you. So high viscosity, it cannot, once it is falling down into the juice, it cannot escape from that. It is nicely wrapped inside the digestive juice. Digestive juice consisting of many enzymes, which is making the digestion of the whole insect. So this digestive juice consisting of the insect digest the insect, so that it is getting the nitrogen sources from this insect plant, and this plant is using as that particular nitrogen as a sole source of food. Okay, so this is about the Nepenthes plant. Here the predator is, you should know about the predation two terms. What is a predator and prey? Okay, here the fly have to come, right? So fly have to come here. Fly, I'll write in the separate color. This is a fly. Okay, so this fly is called prey, and this plant is called predator. What is called predator? Predator meaning as the one who is going to kill the another is called predator. One get killed is called prey. So prey is get here harmed, and predator get useful, that is benefited. So the predator getting benefited and prey is become harmed because it is taken up by the digestive juice of this plant. Okay, so these two only I am going to tell you. This is just one example of the predator. Along with this, you will be having a sundew plant, that is example Drosera, and also bladywort plant of the Articularia. Articularia, bladywort. Bladywort is also called Articularia. Sundew plant is also called Drosera, and Nepenthes, a pitcher plant, is also called Nepenthes. These plants are collectively called insectivorous plant. What is that called? Insectivorous plant. So because it is going to eating the insects with the as their sole sources of the food, so that it is called insectivorous plant. The plant is called predator, and who is get killed, any animals, any insect is called prey. Okay, this is one type of the predations that you should know about this. Okay. So this is about this thing. An example is Sardinia. Next time coming to the, and along with this many herbivorous animals like sheep and goat and cattle, camel. These are will eat the herbivores. So that is eat the most herbs and shrubs of the plant. So the most of the shoot part above the soil is full stem and leaf and flower fruit. Everything will be taken up by the animals like a goat, sheep, cattle, and all goat will eating this kind of, and cows and all. So most of the shrubs and herbs is get affected by these animals when compared to the perennial plant, that is twice growing plant in a year is perennial, that you know. Annual means only once it's growing in the plant is annual plant. The annual plant is get affected by these animals when compared to the perennial plants. Okay. So and also grazing and browsing. What is called grazing and browsing? So grazing and browsing means nothing but grazing means grass eaters. Grass will be taken up by some kind of the insects, and also browsing, grazing and browsing. Grazing and browsing means it's a grass eating animals, and browsing. Browsing means that is it's eating the stem eaters. It makes the boring. It causes the bore. Bore means some holes in the bore, creating a bore in stem. So it's taking up the water sap or the plant sap So example, I am trying to say the browsing means stem. Stem will be get bored by making a hole or the bore in the stem and eating the whatever the nutrients present in the plant inside. Grazing means grass eaters. So these two are causing the remarkable changes in the plants. Okay. So if they are eating particular place, definitely will be knowing some may coming and eaten that particular part. Okay, that is called a grazing or the browsing. Okay, and along with this, if you are taking 100% of the insects, the 25% of the insects is taking up the plant saps. So it is also called the it is also called phytophagus. Phytophagus means its plant sap or the other plant part is get eaten by the insects in the 25% of the whole insects part. Okay, whole insect parts in which the 25% of the insects eating the phytophagus. Phytophagus means it's causing the boring in the stem and eating the plant sap or the water nutrients which is going to the plant, and also eating the plant parts. Okay, this is about your predators. Okay, that's all about your predators. So next to do this is we'll see the parasitism. What is called parasitism here? The parasitism I also told the same, one get benefited, another get harm. Here the one get benefited is taking the insect and eating them. That is called predator, and who is eaten is called the prey. Okay. Here also one get benefited and another get harmed. How? The parasite is maybe a small partner. It's a small partner, and host is a big partner. So here the two partner is there. The small partner is parasite, that is bacteria, the fungi or whatever it is. So this small partner is coming and getting a food from the big partner and causing the ill effects to the host. So it is a parasite host interactions is called parasitism. So the parasitism meaning is it's parasite or the any germs or the bacteria or the fungi protozoa which is coming and which is acquired by the host, which is okay, it unknowingly it is acquired by the host, so that this host is